bring over my test. I don't think I've already brought it over. No. Bring over my test. Ask me questions, all that. And let's see, last semester. Good. I don't know when these semesters. There we go. No, I think just break one over. There it is. Now, what I do is I go in and set and edit, make sure that there's questions on there that I know are pertinent to this class, and that means bonus questions, like right there. I'm going to take off the exams week, and I'm going to take off the final, this is the last day of class, because I have to edit that one. I think that's it. Move those for right now. Next. And then I set the date. And I do this. Whenever I do a test, I do this so everybody can see before we even go into the test, when the dates are set, what time it is, how much time I give you, how many attempts, and you can see that before we even start the test. So today is the, I don't know why it's all set back in 16. There we go. So today's what? The 14th or the 7th? The 8th. So we're going to start it today at 8 o'clock and end it on, and stop it on the 15th. So now everybody knows that's watching this video or in this classroom that it starts on the 8th and it ends on the 15th. And it starts at 8 o'clock this morning, which I always start them at 8 o'clock. And I always end them at 11:59 p.m. The reason I end them at 11:59 p.m. is because if I put 12 o'clock a.m., somebody will think it's lunchtime the next day, or it'll mess with people's minds if I put 12 o'clock a.m. And so that'll give somebody an excuse. Oh, I thought. Well, 11:59 p.m., everybody knows that's dark. Everybody knows that. And that way they can't use that as an excuse. 3 attempts. Students are expected to complete the test in one section. If attempt is interrupted, students may re-access and complete on their own. Okay, so the dates, 8th through the 15th, 8 o'clock, starts at 8 o'clock, ends at 12. How many times do you have to take it?
3.
3 times. And if something happens, you can re-access it. Now, if I change that, then you won't like it, okay? And plus, y'all drive me crazy, so I'm not going to do that. Because some of y'all, like I say, can break an handle with a banana, and something as simple as taking a test, it'll take y'all a week to do, okay? I'm talking about 1% of 1%. Some of y'all, I'm sorry. I hope y'all best of luck for 1% of 1%. Like I said, there's people still registering on My Labs Plus. Okay. How much time do you have? 90 minutes. It shows the time during the test. I don't do that I have to do it because before I started engaging that, what did I have? I didn't know I was out of time. Scrambles the order. You can show the answers in review mode, and that's all of that. Save and assign. Now, once I save and assign a test, this is what I do every single test. I pull all that up in front of the class. Then I go over to the homework and I say, well, I guess we better put a end date on the homework now since I've got the test started. And I go to the homework and I go down to chapter 6. No coughing in class. 6A, 6B, 6C, 5A, 5C, 5E, and then I go up here and I put due, and then I say to myself, well, today is the 7th, today's the 8th. I'll give everybody till Monday. And then I do that. Now this is the first test and the first homework, and I know there's at least one person out there that, you know, the calamity has hit their house and all that, and that's why I'm giving everybody, you know, till Monday. It's only how many? 6 sections of homework? Well, I usually do that.
That's what we said.
Oh. Well, I wanted everybody to have the work done by Wednesday, so you won't have anything to complain about. That's why I really want it. Yeah, everybody hopefully has done it. Has anybody done it? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that reminds me. I did have one more. Yep.
I sat there cussing you the entire summer. I'm like, really?
I'm sorry. What? It did what? Now, there's some questions. The reason I added that was because of the Z questions. That's why I added. Now, let me add that to 13th. There we go. How's that? Okay, changes. Now, when you go to homework, and I do this, you go to homework now, it'll have, look there.
It was on there.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
The due date?
No.
Oh, yeah. Now look at there. People can find the due date now. It's beside the homework. And you know what? I bet if you go to the test now, I bet it'll show the test. I bet it'll show the due date. Oh, wow. That means you can find the due date on the homework and the test when I assign it. Wow. Look at there, too. Look here. Look at there. It says Unit 1 test, and look what it says right there. 90 minutes, and look at there. Attempts. All the questions that I get asked 2 to 3 days before the test are there. I know. I'm a bitch. Bastard. I'm sorry. There's some people need to chill. Some people need to chill when it comes to, and I know where it comes from. Teachers have done students wrong so many times, and that's where it comes from. If teachers would teach like they got some sense and not like they're some kind of dictator and some kind of, I don't know what you call it. Maybe it has something to do with a certain body part, you know, asinine. How about that? Then students wouldn't be so, fearful. It's true. I mean, I guess the old saying goes, you can't give a little bit of power to anybody because the teachers, they just go crazy. I love these teachers that you will fail my class the first 6 weeks. Why would you want to say that the first day of class? Okay, so let's say you want to take the test. You click on it. Look there. It gives you the same stuff. But it also asks, are you ready to take this test? Are you sure? Now, the reason it says that is because there are some students that will take the test at home, 15 kids running around, the dog and the cat running around, the husband wanting or the wife wanting something, this, that, and the other, okay? There's a thunderstorm outside and lightning bolts outside. They're outside your house, hitting your trees. Okay, I'm ready to take the test. Why would you not take the test under these conditions? Because the house is going to fall in on itself, okay? Do not take, I'm sorry, I have to tell y'all this stuff because there are people out there with lightning bolts hitting their house. Okay, I'm ready to take the test. Oh no, the power went off. Duh! There's this thing called Murphy's Law. What is Murphy's Law? Well, no, it's close. Close. If it can happen, it will happen. Or something. What can go wrong will go wrong. Okay? If you take the test and there is a lightning storm outside, your house and your computer is going to get hit while you're taking that test. All right? So don't take the test during a lightning storm. Don't take the test while the whole family is in the house running around crazy. Don't take the test if there's a flood outside. There's just some things that you have to use a little bit of what? Common sense. And I have to tell y'all that. Yeah, I was taking the test. You were taking the test last night? Yes. Didn't you know there was a thunderstorm outside? Oh, this is the next thing. Oh, well, I only had an hour to take it. You had 7 days to take this test. Now, that comes something else. If you take the whole 7 days and you call me up at 11 o'clock at night or email me at 11 o'clock at night saying, this stupid MyLabs Plus won't work, you're not going to get a response from me because you waited till the last dang hour to take 3 tests. I'm sorry. So, and that is a little bit of venting. It is a little bit of venting because of, and I'm not talking about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One of y'all will do that. Okay? But that one just sticks in the memory right here of how thoughtless some students can be. Okay. All right. So, after you get everybody put to bed and you look outside and there's no tornado and you sit down with a glass of Merlot or a glass of tea, hit the start test. Oh, yeah, that's it. And there's the test. All right. First question. Where is all of Hubert's homework and tests done? In the kitchen. You'd be surprised how many people miss it. Okay, here's a question about symmetry. All right. The histogram to the right shows eruptions of a geyser for sample through blah, 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 blah. Over the histogram, draw a smooth curve that captures the general features. Then classify the distribution according to its number of peaks and symmetry and skewness. So, hold on a minute. Let me pull up I thought I had my whiteboard pulled up. I guess I don't. Yeah, I do have it pulled up because there it is. Where is it? Okay, yes I don't. The tornado hit it. There it is. Thought I had it pulled up. Okay, so take your handy dandy and draw a curve. Something like that. Now right off, you know it doesn't have 3 peaks. You know it doesn't have, well, kind of has 1 peak, but you can't say that this is not a peak. It's a minor peak. This is a major peak. So I would be willing to bet it's probably 2 peaks less skewed. That would wide variation. That's probably what I would say it was. Of course, this could be one of those questions that, you know, Philadelphia lawyer, but I would say that one is 2 peaks. But let's look and see to make sure. I don't think it'd be. The only other thing I could say it would be 1 peak, but the symmetric would take that out because it's not symmetric.
Unless they're counting that small peak is skewing off to the left.
Yeah, because this one is 1 peak symmetric, but I don't think you can just discount this. I think it'd be 2 peaks. Okay. Let's get this thing out of the way. Next. Okay, the scores for certain intelligence. All right, y'all do this one. And that's what we do. We go through and we do the test. That way everybody can see what's on the test, and that way everybody can get a kind of a preview of the test. It's very difficult to fail a test in my class. Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say, I did.
I had an A+ in your
I
class.
know.
Thank you very much.
That was a long time ago, though. You might have forgot a lot.
True that.
Like they say when they come in here, students that not out of high school, they say it's been 100 years.
It feels like it.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. It feels like 100 years.
Can you scroll that again?
This.
Yeah. No, I mean that. Scroll.
Oh.
Yeah.
110, 125, 140. And then 110 minus 15 is what, 95? And 80. And I don't know so find the 90th percentile. So the 90th percentile, this is 75. And this is close to 100, so we're just going to draw a line right in there somewhere, and we'll say that's 90%. That means 90% is to the left of this number, this z-score right here. And you say to yourself, well, what is 90%? Well, if you look in the table, 90% is going to be between $88.49 and $90.32. So your answer is $90.32, which is 1.3. So this z-score is 1.3. Everybody got that? Now, they want to know I'm going to go ahead and do the test score. Let's see. Score certain intelligence, find the 90% of these scores. Of these scores, you need to highlight of these scores. That means they want to know the score that represents 1.3. So we're going to use the z-score or Oz plus mu. Oz plus mu. X is equal to Oz plus mu. And our sigma is 15. The z is 1.3. And mu is 110. So 1%, that would be 1.5, which would be 4.5, which would be 19.5, which would be 129.5. Somebody check me. So 130 is your test score that represents the 90th percentile. So if you make above a 190, then you make it, I mean, above 130, then you're over the 90th percentile. So you would put 130 down, and you would move on. Okay? A set of data items is normally distributed with a mean of 120 and a standard deviation of 6. Convert 136 to a z-score. Okay, do that. Now also, if you wanted to do that on your calculator, the last question on the calculator, it would be second bars, inverse norm, 0.9000, and it should spit out 1.3. So you need to check that on your TIs if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. Well, Mr. Voss got accepted. Mr. Voss.
Oh, yeah, barely.
Well, you know what? The more politicians that don't like the woman, the more I have confidence in her. I hate to say that. That's true. That's been true for the last 10 years of my life. If politicians hate someone, that's who I'm going to support.
Yep.
Because what happened to Rome? And I think we were on the verge of that.
But you were talking about common sense before?
Yeah.
Have you heard the one horse sense?
Uh-uh.
That's the sense a horse has not to go on me.
That's true. Horse sense. I'm anxious to see what she's going to do.
Oh, she's...
I really don't think you can go much worse if you want to know the truth about it. Think about it. Our education system is kind of like Trump said about the inner cities. We can't do much worse.
And Hannah, the food that they cook for you is awful. They took out all the vending machines, you know, the Coke or whatever, but yet the hypocrites of Hannah allow, what's his name that owns Chick-fil-A to sell Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Yeah.
And the what?
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's, you know, so a fried chicken sandwich is better. I'm confused.
Well, that's called politics.
I know.
It would go back to math, science, English, history.
And no watered down underwater firefighting classes, I hope. Strategies.
When I read this book, it's pathetic. This is a comic book.
I told you, I hate it.
Pathetic.
It's awful. It makes you feel like you're an idiot when you read the book. 120, 136, and what? I'm sorry, did I? Oh, 152. I know, 136. I mean, that's just, sometimes it comes out like that. It depends on whether they want you to put the empirical rule to application or whether they want you to actually compute it. This will be what, 114 or 104? 104, and what's this one? 88. My subtraction is not good. This is my addition. My addition is better. All right, so 136 is right here. Now, if you was to put z-scores to this table, it would be 0, 1, 2, -1, in fact, 4. You put this in red. 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. You could line 136 up with what? 1 and say the z-score for 136 is equal to 1.0. And you could circle that, but that's applying the empirical rule. And sometimes the empirical rule is not as detailed as the z-score. So just for giggles, let's check it, especially in between. Like if I wanted to say what's between 136 and 152, 140 what? Huh? 145. And if it asks for 145, I say, okay, that'd be 1.5. Well, if you put 145 in the z-score, it might not come out to be 1.5. It might come out to be 1.47775, or it might come out to be 1.5226 or something like that. So sometimes you have to check it. So z-score for 136 is equal to 136 minus 120, and we see that it comes out to be 1, because that's 16 over 16, and that's equal to 1. Okay, so your answer is 1.
On those type of questions, is it necessary, like that one and the previous one, is it necessary that you do the graph?
No, you don't have to. The graph is just for your benefit.
Right.
Okay, so if you don't need it and you get 5 or 6 out of 5 or 6 right, you get them all right in your homework, then you don't need it.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, if you do 5 or 6 in your homework and you don't draw it and you get them all wrong, then you probably need it. It's up to you. Yeah, I want you to do the extra work. When does the homework terminate? It should be Mickey Mouse, but we're going to go with before the test starts. That's when I usually turn it off. Okay, there we go. Assume that a set of scores are normally distributed with a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 25. Use the empirical rule to find the following quantities. All right, this is where you probably need to draw a picture, unless you don't understand. I mean, if you understand it without it, but I would draw a picture. Yep. And one thing you'll see about my test, and that's why I try to go over the test, most of the time, unless I've missed something, most of the time the test is going to pretty much flow with the homework. I don't, well, that's extra practice.
Well, no, I'm just saying the 30 questions, just to be exact, not be it.
Oh, yeah.
But they're the same.
Oh, yeah, the same question. But what I'm saying is, I don't sit there and go, okay, well, I'm going to skip this other class. I'm going to put my this. I don't do like some of these other teachers, because I used to have a math teacher that was like that. He was a good guy, but he would go over 50,000 things in class, and none of it would be on the test. None of it. And I don't know if that was just I don't know if that was just a lapse of judgment, or if it was just, I don't know. But I don't know why you would spend all that time going over all that stuff and then test on something totally different. So, who knows? So 100, 125, and 150, and 75, and 50. So 50% would be less than 100. So that would be 50%. The percentage of scores greater than 125. Well, you got to add up those. You either add up all of these or add up these two. Now, it says round to 1 decimal place. Now, that's where you got to look in your book, because I go with 34, 34, and I go with 2.5 here and 2.5 here, and I always forget this one. I think this one's 13.5 or 11.5. Somebody check my math. I always forget that one. 13 to 16, that's right. Now, some books take this 2.5 and they break it up into 2.2 and 0.3. So you need to look in your book and see which one it does. But I usually just use this. So 125. What's 13.5 and this is above 25? That's 16 what? Percent. So that would be 16%. The percentage of scores between 50 and 125. Well, that should be, okay, 50 and 125. 68 plus 13.5. 68, 13.5, 0.5, 1, the 81.5. That should be your answers. So 50%, 16%, and 81.5. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points, and dropping any grades during the final week of the semester? Because he's mean and he wants you to fail and live in a ditch. Actually, B could be a possible answer. I would count that as correct, but I think it's probably D. Huh? Yeah, my head hurts. I'm glad it's not hurting anymore. He awards me extra points for these type of questions on each test, and he drops the lowest 2 grades on each unit, which you take it 3 times. I drop the lowest 2. Okay? So don't ask me for extra credit at the end of the semester. Oh my God, I'm supposed to go into cardiac arrest. Your phone went off. Okay. Consider the scatter plot to the right. State whether the diagram has a positive correlation, a negative correlation, or no correlation. If there is a positive or negative correlation, is it strong or weak? Summarize any conclusions that can be drawn. Let's pull this guy up. 2014 model cars. This is gas mileage, and this is weight of cars in pounds. And I'm going to take my handy dandy straight edge, and I'm going to draw a line. That looks like it could be right. So what kind of correlation do we have? Well, you asked yourself, if I put a car right here, what's it going to do? It's going to go down. So it's negative correlation. Okay? It's a negative correlation because it's going downhill. A lot of people say, the first thing people say is, why'd you put it on the left? Which way do we read since we've learned how to read? Left to right. Center to right, yeah. Right to left, masalama. Okay? So, if I put the car on the left, it's a negative correlation. Do you think it's a strong correlation? I do. Now, what does it say? It says that the gas mileage of a vehicle goes down as the weight goes what? And would you say that's correct? Yep. Then that's what you do on that one. See, that's not hard. So there is a strong negative correlation, I would say. Heavier cars, lower gas mileage. Which branch did Hubert serve in?
Boy Scouts.
I would rather you say Boy Scouts than the Army, okay? All right, thank you. That's the one question that I put on here about my handouts, and one student said that I'm full of myself. One question. I put one question on the test to show that you read the handout, and I'm full of myself. Y'all are nuts. Some of y'all are crazy. I ain't kidding you.
Calling yourself for going off to war?
Yeah, I went to war too, served my country. That makes me a racist and a terrorist. I'm a terrorist. All veterans are terrorists. You know that.
There's a whole list of them.
Yeah, and Bible thumper and gun toting and all that. State whether you would expect the following data to be normally distributed or not. Scores of an easy, keyword easy statistics exam. Not normally distributed. Why? Because if it was easy, so all your data is going to be to the right, which means it's going to be skewed what? Skewed left. So I would say not normally distributed. Okay? What if it scores on I don't know how you would say, on a hard test? No. Just think of the extremes. Anything on the extreme is not going to be normally distributed. Okay? I don't know how they would ask. I guess they would say scores on the statistics exam. If they don't put the word easy or difficult in front of it, then chances are to be normally distributed. Okay? A set of data items is normally distributed with a mean of 40 and a standard deviation. All right, do this one. And one of the reasons I emphasize drawing a picture is because of the probability and statistics class. And chapter 6, when you're in probability and statistics, you spend a whole chapter on area under a curve. And that's why I stress you don't need it in this section as much as you do in that section. And I'm just used to teaching it, and I just used to drawing pictures. So any of you going into Math 120, when you get to that chapter 6, and you draw these pictures on every problem, you'll understand why I wanted you to draw it. But most people, like I say, take 120 after they take this class or take this class, and then 120, whatever the case may be. All right, 40. And then 46, and then 52, and then 34, and then what? 28. And they say convert 33. Well, 33 is right here, so we're going to take our handy dandy red marker, and we're going to put a 33 right there. So the z-score for 33 is equal to 33 minus 40 over 6. And 33 minus 40 is 7 over 6. And 7 over 6 is equal to 1 and 1/6, which is equal to 1.67, I think. No, 1.16. 1.16. And that's negative. Sorry. And you really don't need the negative because where is it? It's on the left. You would say, oh, that's negative. Negative 1.16. Now, I don't know that on this problem, if you put, let's see, round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, they're telling you round to the nearest hundredth because it's a repeating decimal. So you can't really get this one. There's only one way that you can get this right, and that's follow the directions. There's no challenge on this one. If you put 1.16, then you're not following what? Directions. Okay? What is a standard score? I hate that question. I'll go ahead. A standard score is the distance between 0 and the z-score. That's the standard score. It's the distance. How do you find the standard score of a particular data value? Choose the definition of a standard score below. A standard score is data value equal to the mean A standard score is a data value that is in one standard deviation of the mean. A standard score is the number of standard deviations a data value lies above or below the mean. A standard score is the distance between data number and the nearest outlier. I would say C. What do y'all think? And then what is the z-score? See, that's what gets me. They call it z-score and then they call it standard score. I don't like this book. In the Math 120 book, they call it z-score. They don't call it a standard score. The standard score, z is equal to what? Data value minus the mean over the standard deviation c. And then move on. Okay, frequency distribution. Go ahead and do this one. And we'll do it by Excel spreadsheet because they want the frequency, the relative frequency, which means the number over the total, and they multiply it by 100 because they got a percent sign there. And then cumulative frequency, which will be just take the first number and then add to it. But you got to put these in order and get them in order and put them in the spots that they belong. I want to do this. Hold on a second. Well, they have it all over the place. Yeah. Let me do this, and I'll blow them up so you can see them a little better. There we go. I'm looking to see this. Yeah. There you go. I'll go ahead and put them in order for you. Because there's no sense in you having to do that. Just staying out of the way. There you go. Give you another minute. I want to see what you're saying is classes and pass outreach. Is that what you were saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So 70 to 74. Let's get my notes. 75 to 79. 80 to 84. 85 to 89. 90 to 94. 95 to 99. Okay, so how many in the first one? This will be 3. Things I do for y'all. I know. I'm full of myself. Let's see, there's 3. God, this is backwards. It's aggravating. Okay, 3, 2, 6. And the total would be 6 and 4, be 10, 16, 19, 23, 20, what is it? 20. Okay, so now we do 1 over, I'm just going to do it over here because I don't want to do it in there. Alright, so 1 over 20 equals 1 divided by 20. What did I do? Equals 1 divided by 20. Why? I've never had to do that before. 1 divided by 20. Why have I got to do that now? Oh, Lord. Sorry. Never had to do it before. Equals, that's right. Was it 1 or 3? Oh, I did the top. Okay, I'll do the top. And then 2 divided by 20. 6 divided by 20. And then 6 divided by 20 again is 0.3. And then 2, that's 0.1. And then 3, making sure I did it, yeah, equals 3 divided by 20. Is that it? So 0.05 is going to be 5%. And then what? 10%? 30%? 30%? 10%? And 15%. That should equal what? 100. And then up here, well, we got to start here. This is what's so, I guess we go down. I must have, well, 1, and then what's 1 plus 2? 3, and 3 plus 6, 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 2, and 17 plus 3. All right, we good? You can get rid of this thing. I guess you can. Next. Use the normal distribution of IQ scores, which has the mean of 130 and the standard deviation 12. Use the following tables or your calculator and get this thing out of the way. For a normal distribution, to find the indicated quantity. Draw a picture. $130, $142, $154, $130 minus be $108, $118, and $106. Now it says use the percentage of scores greater than 118. So they want to know this right here, right? Scores greater than 118. They want to know the percentage. So that means we've got to find the area. Now you can do this two different ways. One is change. You got to change 118 to z-score. All right, so go ahead and do that. So 118 minus 130 over 12, and then you're going to get -1 now, aren't you? So you can find -1 on there, and then subtract from 100%. If they give it to you in percent, that's what tell what they give it to you.
What's funny is you look, if you subtract that 100 from what we're putting in, it gives you the positive standard score. Or C-score, whatever.
Yeah, and people find out about that, and they say, well, why don't you just use that? And then the teachers say, don't do that. And then they say, why not? And they just, it'll confuse you later on. So, especially when you're doing the areas. Yes, you're right. It does, because it gives you the right-hand score. But the best thing to do is look up -1, and that's 15.87, and subtract that from 100, and that'll give you the right score, the right-hand score. So 1 is 15.87, so that's 15.87%, and that 15.87% is this area right here. So you want this, so the 100 minus 15.87, which comes out to be what? 84.13. And that's your answer, because that is the right-hand side, 84.13. How does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with your final exam grade? Water. Have y'all noticed anything about these questions? There's only one what? There's only one answer. All the other answers are dummy answers. People still get them wrong. Lord have mercy, did I put this question on here? I hope it don't have 15 parts.
Some of them do.
Well, not the test, it shouldn't. I'll take them off after I get off this thing. The frequency table shows the number of daily newspapers in the country between 1950 and 2010, complete part A through C. So that's okay. Click on the frequency table. There's the frequency table. I'm going to copy in Excel so I can do a graph. There you go. So go ahead and do a graph. Well, what do you got to do to do a graph? Well, just do this, insert, and pick a graph. They do a line chart. We can do a line chart. That's not what I wanted. I know what I need to do. Let me just go back. There we go. So that's what it's looking like. Kind of starts off, and then in 4, let's see, at 1800. Oh no, that's 1800. Where's my? There we go. Okay, 1779, that's 1950. 1950 and 1980, it started dropping off. Well, what happened in 1980? Computers came out. And then, of course, the internet came out, and then after Al Gore invented the internet, it came down. So you're looking for a somewhat slowly declining until 1980, and then it starts dropping off. So you kind of like level, 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 then boom, 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 it starts dropping. So let's go back to our question. And it kind of shows it a little bit more dramatic here. Oh, go away. All right, you know this one's not it. So you take your handy dandy. Where is my... Everything disappeared. Okay, you know this is not it. And you know this is not it. Now these two kind of show the same things happening, don't they? But it says draw a bar graph. So that takes care of this. So there's your answer. Discuss interesting features from blah, blah, blah. I know right here. Here's where? Where's? Oh, gosh. Okay, since it's counting, it's what? Quantitative. You count newspapers. Okay, from 1950, discuss blah, 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 blah. From 1950 to 1980, fairly steady. 1990 to the number attained. I'm looking for decrease. Okay, B, during the numbers decreased from 1990, fairly constant. I don't know if this was it, huh? B?
D.
Well, I'm sorry, you should have said Donald Duck. The number decreasingly fairly steady. There we go. Decrease, and that shows it right there. So that'll help you on that. Just don't skip the number. Don't skip that like I did. Identify the sampling method as simple random sample, systematic random sample, convenient sample, or stratified. The computer randomly selects 800 names from a list of registered voters. That would be simple random sample, wouldn't it? All of them have the same. It's a little bit vague. I think they need to stress that everybody has the same, because it can't be systematic, because there's not a pattern. They don't give way of a pattern. It just says all registered voters. That word "all" tells me it's simple random sample. One of the second most missed question of my bonus questions is this one. What is Hubert's email address and cell number? Not many people know what BR549 is, but let's see. A set of data values is normally distributed with a mean of 60 and a standard deviation of 4. Give the score of approximately percentile of 59. Time remaining 40 minutes. Now, by common sense, you know that it's going to be less than what? 50%, because you know that 50% is at 60. And 64, 68, 50, 56, 52, and they're asking for 59. So you take your handy dandy red marker, and 59 would be right here. They want a little less than, or they just want the data, they just want the number. Okay, you got 59, so 59 minus 60 over 4 is equal to negative 1 over 4, which is equal to negative 0.1. You go over to your handy dandy, whatever this thing's called, table, and find negative 0.25. There it is. 40 point what? 40.13. So that's to the left. So that means everything to the left is 40.13, and everything to the right is 59.6467. Okay. I don't know what they're asking for. It should be negative 0.25. The data is the 40th percentile. It says round to the nearest whole number, 40th percentile. They just call it z-score. Negative 0.25 and the 40th percentile. In MyLabs Plus, upon completion of all assignments, the grade book will give me coconut. I personally like contempt. Now, a lot of people say, well, Hubert, why do you ask that question? Before I started putting that question on the test, I would get people call me up not call me, text me, email me, or call me. Where's my grade? I have no idea. Let's see. Do we do anything in class? No. Do we do any test or homework in class? No. Where do we do all our tests and homework? On MyLabs Plus. What is the grade book? I think I have two questions that ask that. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? He calls you a loser and fails you. That is the second most right answer. B. He takes the highest grade and drops the lowest. In MyLabs Plus, what does Gradebook do? Keeps up records of my grades and gives me my final grade after all are completed. Predicts the temperature for July 4th, 2015, which is already passed, so that's the wrong answer.
It should be D.
Yeah, measures my IQ. How about keeps up records? Score on the quantitative portion of exam have a mean of 578 and a standard deviation of 158. Assume the normal scores are normally distributed. What percentage of students taking the qualitative exam above 594? What percentage above 594? So draw a picture. Why you got to find the mean? That doesn't mean that you won't see it. There could be a question in one of the pools that says find the mean. Remember, this is a similar. It's not going to be exactly. You may get a question about the mean and the range and the standard deviation. Okay, y'all gonna have to do those. I'm not Rain Man, so y'all gonna have to tell me what's to the right.
736. 894.
And left.
420. 262.
And they want to know what's above 594. Well, 594, we still don't know where it is because we've got to find it in here. So let's do some interpolation and let's find the middle. 578, find the middle there. Somebody find the midpoint. Add those two together and divide by 2. All right, take 657, add it to 578, divide by 2. Right here, 578 plus 657 divided by 2. Trying to find 594. 617. All right, take 617 plus 578 divided by 2.
597.
There we go. 597 is right there. So 594 would be right beside that. 594 would be right in here. So you're talking, I don't know, that's 0.25. Let's see, this is half. This is 0.25. This is 0.125. So I'd say it's around 0.1. Somewhere around 0.1 is Z-score. So we take our handy dandy Z-score for 594. Z 594. And that's equal to 594 minus 578 divided by 158. And somebody tell me what that comes out to be. 0.10. So look up 0.10, or somebody take, I'll do second, bars, Okay, second bars, 0.10. Oh, I didn't do the normal CDF, I'm sorry. I think it's normal CDF. CDF. Normal CDF, and then do 0.10. What do they want? They want above it? No, it just says what percentage taking the quantity. Oh, above it. 0.10 to 9999. Somebody give me that. Well, first of all, will it be more than 50% or less than 50%? It's going to be less than 50%. So I'd say it's going to be like 49 point something or 48 point something. What do you get? Somebody with a TI, do it. 0.4601, which is 46%. 46% scores above 594. Determine whether the data described is qualitative or quantitative. The shoe sizes, such as 8 or 10.5, of test subjects. Quantitative. Remember, qualitative is like hair color, eye color, shirt, blue shirt, red shirt, whatever the case may be. How? This is the most missed bonus question of all. How is homework, test, and exams weighed in Hubert's class? A. Why is it the most missed? Because I put 2 percentages on there. Why can't it be C? Don't equal 100. You could say, I don't know, I can't read. No, it's better because this will get me in trouble. I don't know, the teacher didn't tell me. Yeah. Huh?
Why do you think I said D?
Oh, okay. I can't, I didn't, I thought you said C, I'm sorry. All right, submit test. And look at there, I got 30 minutes left.
Feed the dogs.
Yeah,
Or the
whatever.
cows. Or the pigs.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I got a 98.67. This must be one of those Philadelphia lawyer questions.
Something mismarked in here.
Did I mismark one?
I didn't put it in. No, it's not.
Okay, what does that say?
Bar.
Oh, draw a line chart across the page.
See, right there.
Just draw.
I didn't follow directions, but that is stupid. Why would you draw?
If it's qualitative, draw a line that is quantitative. You know, right there, just take that one out.
Okay, I'm not going to worry. If you do that one wrong, I'll give you. Now, you got to have the right answer. You got to have either this one or this one. Okay. All right, y'all good? All right, so now what do you got to do for homework? Finish the homework and do the test. When y'all come in Monday, we'll be starting Unit 2. Oh, I didn't call the roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only one person not here. Okay, see y'all.